Hello, just a really quick video on how I edit our wedding photo. First thing I always do, I got it set on import. It would come up with enable lens correction and remove chromatic aberration. I then look at the white balance on the shot, see how it looks in auto, see how it looks a little bit more to the skin tones in auto, whereas I actually prefer it. Yeah, I think daylight looks good. And then I'm using Adobe Photoshop CC, and if I go open in, this is obviously Lightroom, I'm going to open it up into Photoshop. Just take a second. Computer's want to go slow because I'm recording the screen at the same time. And then when I get it into Photoshop, I'll start with the 3 Nails Clean Slate Foundation. Let's just take a second to run its toll, run its thing. You can see it's really cleaned it up nicely. And then some of my favourite ones, I like Dixie Gin. I'll see how that one works. Yeah, that's quite nice. In fact, before I do Dixie Gin, let's go all the way down to Movable Sunlight, and on this one I'm going to use Sheer Backlight. It's got a nice open area in the top right hand side. So I'm just going to open that one up, Sheer Backlight, and then run the action. Press continue, and then choose whereabouts I want to put it. Put it up in the top corner, and then have a play with the angle to whereabouts suits. I think somewhere around there. A bit much. Yeah, somewhere around there looks nice. And then if it does overpower it a bit too much, I normally go to Image and Apply Image. And when you apply the image, you just apply it over the top, so it just tones it down a little bit. And you can do that as many times as you want. So if you have put in too much of a flare, then you can tone it down like that. Let that run, and then turn it on and off, and you can see it's just very subtle, not too much in the background. And then we'll go back to Dixie Gin, which looked quite nice, and I'll run that. Yeah, that looks nice. And I often use gradients, so I use the gradient tool on this side. Make sure I've got it selected on the circular gradient, and that I'm using a black as a foreground, and I'm on the Dixie Gin layer. And then from there I shall drag it out and into the shot. And what that would do is just take it off the corner a little bit, so the sun isn't quite affected by it. You can see it's just down in the left hand corner that's being affected by it. So it's a little bit much, a little bit blue on his jacket, which was actually black. So I just toned that down a bit in the opacity. Yeah, somewhere around there. And then I might use something else, your new aesthetic. I like running that one as well, so to see how that one there looks. And it's too much. So I'm going to delete that one. And I'm going to try Third Pose, which is a nice one to run. Yeah, that's quite nice. It gives it a nice washed out sort of look. Again, it's a little bit too strong, so let's bring it down a little bit, around 50%, something like that. And yeah, I quite like that. Another one that I like to do is the black and white ones on the 3 Nails. I always find a bit harsh. I'm going to use Classically Beautiful, and I just run that one. In fact, what I should say before that, let's cancel that. what I say before that is I should have flattened the image because it'll put it in underneath these, so it won't show up. So we'll just cancel that one and delete that. And then what I'll do is I'll flatten the image just to keep it nice and neat. Discard, yes. And then I'll go back into Classically Beautiful, now that we have no other layers, and I'll run that and it'll put it on top. And what I find is it comes up very harsh for black and white. I don't honestly like many of the black and white ones, but what I do like to do with them is just use it as like a vignette. So tone it down a bit in the layer mask, and I'll show you how I do that again with the circular gradient tool. So this one hasn't actually got a layer mask on it, so what I do is I press my layer mask button, make sure I'm there, make sure I'm black, and go with the circular gradient, and then I'll pull out again from the sunburst, from the flare. It just gives it a really nice edge to it, really brings your attention to the main feature, should we say. Again, I'm just playing with the circular gradient tool. I'm going to bring the opacity down a little bit. And then I reckon that's about it. And then if I go back to save, and that's it. It will save it and it'll go back into Lightroom. And hang on just a second and it'll come up in Lightroom. No, it won't because it's saving a too big a file. So what I've got to do again is flatten the image, discard the layers, and then again save it and it'll come up in Lightroom. And then there it is in Lightroom. I want to bring it back into Lightroom. So look, maybe add a little bit of clarity, not too much. I also like to go in a bit with the details. So pressing the Alt key on a PC, and just sharpen up a little bit around the edges, and a little bit of noise reduction. And that's it, my shot finished. Thank you all.